Hello everyone. Today I'm here with a poem by Coach Skinny, Rain on the Roof. This poem has been prescribed for the CBSE students of class 9 in their textbook Beehive. First of all, let us know a little about the poet who composed this poem. Yes, I'm talking about the renowned poet Coach Skinny, who was a dynamic personality. This poet, Coach Skinny, was an American poet, and on 24th November 1826 he took birth in Penn Van, New York, USA. He had a multifaceted career. He was a lawyer, a politician, a journalist, and a poet. Not only this, he had also served in the US Army as a commissioned officer during the American Civil War. So far as his poetic creations are concerned, he composed Cuca in 1855, Lyrics of the Ideal and Real in 1888, Mists of Fire, a trilogy, and some eclogues in 1899. But of all his verses, the lilting and haunting Rain on the Roof, which was set to music, was the most popular. This poet, as a man, is labeled to have lived a full life. On 25th January 1904, at an age of 77, he breathed his last breath in Ohio. Now, you see, when it rains out, some among us feel excited. Some feel blessed. Some feel nostalgic. And yes, some feel healed. So far as this poet Coach Skinny is concerned, he has expressed his own feelings when he gets a chance to listen to the repeated light tapping sound of raindrops falling on the tiles of the roof. Now the first stanza. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres and the melody darkness gently weaves in rainy tears. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. The poet says that at night, when the sky is full of twinkling bright stars, all of a sudden the rain clouds, which are full of moisture, start covering the entire sky. That time, the poet himself is in a sad mood. The darkness or blackness of the cloudy patches somehow increase his sadness. And after that, the rain starts. The poet feels that those are not the raindrops but the tears of nature. He feels that as he is sad, the nature that is in his surrounding is also full of sorrow, and that is why it is shedding tears as an expression of its grief. Then the poet starts listening to the repeated light tapping sound, which is created by the falling of the raindrops over the roof of his house. As the poet concentrates upon the melody and rhythm of those falling raindrops, he forgets all his worries, sorrows, and sufferings. He lies down on the bed of his bedroom, pressing a pillow against his body, and enjoys the sound to its full. He then enjoys perfect happiness. His all negative thoughts die down, and he is refreshed by those tiny raindrops. Thus, nature has the capacity to pull us out of our sorrows and sufferings and make us refreshed, happy, and energetic to lead a proper life. Now, the second stanza. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and a thousand dreamy fancies into busy being start, and a thousand recollections weave their air threads into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. As the raindrops are falling on the tiled roof, the poet feels an echo of that light, clear, ringing sound in his heart. Due to the reflection of sound waves in his heart, the poet is indulged in a world of imagination. He finds himself engaged in thousands of dreams, and those dreams are full of memories. Just as a fabric or cloth is woven on handloom with the help of threads, similarly, his past memories start weaving new dreams in his mind. Thus, the poet comes out of his sadness and starts imagining for a better future, riding on his past memories. Now the third and the last stanza. Now in memory comes my mother as she used in years agone to regard the darling dreamers ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I list to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Here in this last stanza, the poet is in a totally different mood. Going down the memory lane, he is reminded of his mother, who is no more. The poet remembers his childhood days when his mother was alive. For her kids were so lovely. So even at night, when the poet and his siblings, I mean his brothers and sisters, used to go to bed, his mother was very much cautious about their dreams. She wanted them to be engaged in good dreams so that they can have a better future. And so, before going to her own bed, she used to let her kids be free for dreaming until the next day's light was visible. Now, in that rainy day, while enjoying the raindrops, the poet feels as if his mother is alive. She is still watching him with utmost affection, and the pattern of the raindrops, which is creating a musical setting, is in fact appearing to the poet as a lullaby being sung by his mother as she used to sing for his children in their childhood days. Now, let's concentrate upon the poetic devices of this poem. Here we find a good many examples of alliteration. Now, what is alliteration? Alliteration means repetition of consonant sound, initial consonant sound, in two or more consecutive words. For example, in the first line of the first stanza, when the humid shadows hover, here humid hover, ha sound has been repeated. In the second line of the first stanza, over all the starry spheres, sa sound has been repeated. In the fifth line of the first stanza, what a bliss to press the pillow, press pillow, here pa sound has been repeated. And then in the seventh line of the first stanza, and lie listening to the patter, lie listening, la sound has been repeated. In the second stanza, fourth line, into busy being start, busy being, ba sound has been repeated. And the last line of the second stanza, of the rain upon the roof, rain, roof, ra sound has been repeated. Now in the third and final stanza, first line, now in memory comes my mother, here memory, my mother, ma sound has been repeated. Third line of third stanza, to regard the darling dreamers, da sound has been repeated. Then we find here the use of onomatopoeia, that is, the use of sound words to create dramatic effects in a poem. For example, tinkle, patter, etc. These words present a pictorial image of the falling of raindrops on a tiled roof. Personification has also been used. The inanimate objects or animals have been given human qualities. For example, melancholy's darkness. How can darkness be melancholic or sad? As it is not a human being. Then recollections weep. We know a weaver who is a human being and he weeps. But how can memories weave? Another figure of speech, enjambment, has also been used in the very first stanza. Enjambment in a poem is the continuation of a sentence without a pause beyond the end of a line, couplet, or a stanza. In the very beginning of the first stanza, we find a punctuation mark only after the end of the fourth line. That is, when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres and the melancholy darkness gently weaves in rainy tears. So it's a fine example of enjambment. And now, last but not the least, the rhyme scheme. A rhythm is created through the last rhyming word of each line. So let's take the last word from each line. So the last word of the first line, hover, let us take the letter A for it. The last word of the second line, spheres. The sound does not match with the last word of the first line, hover. So let us take the letter B for spheres. The last word of the third line, darkness. It does not match with hover or spheres. So let us take the letter C for darkness. Now the last word of the fourth line, tears. This word matches with the last word of the second line, spheres. So the same letter B will be used to represent it. Now the last word of the fifth line, pillow, has no match. So let us take the letter D for it. Then the last letter of the sixth line, bed, has no match yet. So let us take the letter E for it. Last word of the seventh line is patter, which again has no word matching with its sound. So let us take the next letter F for it. And the last word of the last line in the first stanza, overhead. This matches with bed, the last word of the sixth line. So the same letter E will be used to represent overhead. Thus, the rhyme scheme is AB, CB, DE, FE. And the same rhyme scheme has been repeated in the next two stanzas. Now, the message that we get through this poem is nature has healing power. In the beginning, the poet was in a sad mood, but then the sound of the falling raindrops gives him solace and mental peace. It has such a soothing effect that it takes poet into the lap of dreams, where he dreams of his good old childhood days when he was so happy in company of his affectionate mother. So we should try to be in natural surrounding so that we can feel refreshed and energetic and can fill our earthly days with all sorts of positivity. Thank you.